So good morning guys, something very special. Today is new car delivery day. Yeah, the title might be a bit of a clickbait because it's not our new car that is going to be delivered, but nevertheless I think it's something very interesting what's hiding in here. A new car that we might be even running in within the next few days. So the gate is opening, already taking a glimpse inside here. The fun part is actually that the driver needed to get within the back door, and now it's time to crank up this wonderful car and get it out of that tight spot there. This is what came out of the truck. It's an Urus Performante military matte green wrapped. The car is factory new, almost factory new. And of course within the next days I will show you all the bits and pieces about this car. We have to do a run-in phase. And of course I will take you with us on this very exclusive car delivery on this cold January morning. Oh my goodness, this is going to be such a cool week. I've already realized that everything is in Italian, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And maybe I will leave the language of the car in Italian because it's just a nice feeling sitting in this brilliant, Italian-made car with an Italian license plate. The nice Alcantara interior is the first thing that you realize, which is just this Performante style from the Huracan coming, and now also in an Urus. I mean, look at this, guys. This is just premium, sporty, but look at the ceiling, sporty but premium. Haven't driven a kilometer yet, already impressed. After the first meters, I just parked the Urus Performante next to our RS3, which is already a sporty and aggressive looking car. But comparing it to this, hoopsala, it's a totally different league. Very nice though. I mean, the looks are crazy. And yeah, even after the first meters, I understand why everybody loves this SUV form factor, performance SUV kind of style. Because it's just emotions, looks, sound, and still you can drive it comfortably around town. It's your everyday Lamborghini. And I get why those cars are selling for such a high price. So the car now has only 300 kilometers on the clock, which means that we will do a slight run-in phase. That's very important because it's a factory brand new car, and before we do sound and acceleration tests, we want to put a few miles on it, like the factory wants it. So fast forwarding to another day. We are doing the run-in phase of the Urus Performante right now, as said in the beginning. I already did around 450 kilometers yesterday and a bit this morning. So we are about to reach 950 kilometers on the clock on this car. And I want to talk a bit about the reasons why, first of all, we're doing a run-in phase. Also on a test car, which is maybe not usual for everybody. But on the other hand, also how you should do such a run-in phase, which more or less, let's say, fits to every car. First of all, usually if we get test cars, the test cars have been run in by the manufacturer, and due to the fact that the Urus Performante is absolutely new to the market, and this is one of the first cars, maybe even the first car of the serial production outside a press event that has been delivered from the factory, it was a bit tight on schedule, also because we have it early in the year, and therefore the reason came to us by truck directly from Italy.
and only had, as I said, 250 kilometers on the clock. Usually if we do acceleration tests, of course it would be ideal if the cars have something like 5,000–6,000 kilometers on it, because then, yeah, the electronics really release the full power in the end. But for this car we said, okay, brand new, we can do the run-in phase, but I don't want to do the acceleration runs in the first 500 kilometers or whatever. First of all, because it harms the car. Secondly, because you probably don't get the full power released. Therefore we said, okay, at least 1,500 kilometers, like the manufacturer is telling it, like a normal run-in phase for most modern cars. That's why we're doing some long distance road tests before we will do the acceleration test. Secondly, how should you do the run-in phase? There's a lot of debate if a run-in phase is really necessary or not, and I would say both sides are correct to some regard, because the side who's saying it's necessary, of course, is correct, because yeah, every moving part in the engine, it's better to warm it up before you fully, let's say, use the full power. Secondly, also things like brakes and tires, suspension, etc., of course need to be run in, because they don't have the full potential in the first kilometers. Usually brakes and tires only takes 250–300 kilometers, but of course engine and transmission oil, etc., everything takes a bit longer. Everybody who says a run-in phase is not necessary also is of course kind of correct, because modern cars have electronics and they limit the power and the temperatures anyhow. So they're in the first 1,500 kilometers or whatever, the whole mapping is a bit different in the end, and therefore, yeah, the last 10% of the engine powers are not released anyhow, even if you would, let's say, rev it to the rev limiter. Next thing, of course, how would you do a run-in phase in generally, if you're deciding to do it, or the manufacturer asks you to do it? I would say it is more important that the car is being warmed up and cooled down than that you actually remain only 3,000 or 4,000 RPMs in the end. Because somebody says you're not allowed and supposed to rev about 3,500 RPMs. This is kind of what they're saying for petrol cars, and for diesel cars it's maybe 1,000 RPM less. But I would say in the end it is more important than sticking to a speed like 130 or 3,500 RPM. It's more important to warm up the car for 10–15 minutes, and also in the end to cool it down again before you park into your garage, because those are the things that harm the car. And of course, warming up and cooling down the car is not only necessary for the run-in phase, but for the entire lifetime of the car. And then of course, probably many of you, I'm not telling anything new, but as we had a lot of discussions about how should you run in a car, yeah, I just want to say how I do it, or how we understand to do it. Yeah, a quick look from the outside. First of all, as said, the Urus is the facelifted version. So we have a bit of changed front, not only for the Performante, but also for the regular Urus. In this case, the Performante has the vents in the hood. We have a carbon fiber bonnet that you can see right here, which of course reduces weight. I'm not fully sure if our car has, yeah, but I'm very sure it has the carbon fiber roof as well. And therefore weight reduction, of course, also from the wheels. I think in total it's 50 kilograms weight reduction. Those are the 22-inch wheels. You can also get them with the performance tires. Of course, we have winter tires right now on this one. Ceramic brakes as standard. A nice Performante badge in the rear. Of course, a Performante style carbon fiber rear wing, and also a rear lip, carbon fiber diffuser, and of course we have the Krapovic exhaust on this car. You can of course also get that exhaust on the regular Urus and Urus S, I believe, but it sounds even crisper and even louder on this Performante. The car is also wider, I think mainly due to the changed parts, the different parts on the outside. So yeah, the overall stance of the car, the overall look is very mean. And yeah, repeating myself, I can truly understand why people are buying those cars, because the combination of ride comfort, daily driving abilities, and yeah, very emotional Lambo style at the other end is unique, I would say. So summarizing this video, we have made it to wonderful Düsseldorf and parked the car at the Hyatt Hotel
right there to do the final shots. Hope you enjoyed this video. Talk to you soon.